You know, and these people are there sitting at their desk literally sweating, trying to get through all the paperwork and trying to help as many as they can. And,
Yeah.
you know, and so, you know, we have to give credit to those people who deserve the credit, and those who are dogging it need to get dumped.
Dogging it.
Yeah.
I like that word, dogging it. Listen, before we go on, kids, it's halftime, so we would like to thank our very special sponsors.
Dr. Claire Elias, of course. You need chiropractic care, young man. You're fit as a fiddle, and you can improve that posture a little bit. You just give Dr. Claire Elias a call. You do that with no problem. You can always phone her at 847-888-9988, as you know. She's located at 2001 Larkin Avenue. She had wonderful appreciation days just last week. Also, the Taylor YMCA. So many things are going on at the Taylor Y. You can have swim lessons, swim team, dance, tumbling, you name it. Why don't you just give them a call at 847-888-7410 and get all the information about the good folks at Taylor Y, where your new EBL gets underway January 5, is that
5th.
right? So
Yes, sir.
4th already, legendary it is with that. So the Taylor is a home base for that, and they're located at 50 North McLean Boulevard. That's the Taylor Y.
And a big thanks to Snob Hounds and Casey Toole. They are weekly sponsors of ours. And don't forget, as Jeff reminded us, Elgin's Biggest Loser 4 begins Wednesday, January 5th at the Taylor YMCA on McLean Boulevard right here in Elgin. Go to elginsbiggestloser.com for an application and more info. And how about if we quickly squeeze in what today is? December 15th? 10 days till Christmas?
It's Wednesday.
That's all?
December 15th, I don't know.
Do you know what happened in 1891, Jeffrey?
December 15th, 1891, the very first workable car rolled off the assembly line.
Are you making this up?
Well, maybe not. You tell me what happened.
Sounds close to ball.
Well,
What was
James Naismith
Oh,
introduces the
basketball.
first version of basketball.
With a peach basket that had a bottom to it in Massachusetts. That's why the Hall of Fame is there.
With 13 rules, a peach
Peach basket. Yeah, peach
nailed
basket.
to either end of a school gymnasium, and 2 teams of 9
But you had
players.
to climb up and take it out
He
of the
said
basket.
that thing with a straight face about the, for the listeners out there, with a straight face about the first car rolling out the assembly line.
That's
So
why
it looks very
you can't
true to
trust
this guy.
him.
It's radio.
Listen, you know what happened in 1903?
What do you think? 1903. The end of the first World Series, if we know. That's too late in the year. Tell me what happened.
Wright brothers' first attempt to
King
launch.
Hawk.
That's it.
Wow.
And in 1939,
Gone with the Wind was previewed in Atlanta.
you son of a gun.
Yes.
That's one of them.
I tried Scarlett.
Gone with the Wind receives its premiere at Lowe's Grand Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. Did it win an Oscar?
Oh gosh, many. But that was a great year for movies with the tremendous movies that year.
And in honor of our special
Wizard of
guest,
Oz.
Illinois
Wizard of
State
Oz.
Senator John Milner, in 1970,
He had a lead in Gone with the Wind. He played the first boyfriend
face in it, I
of
think.
Scarlett. He's the one that got the measles and passed away. Is that you, John?
I think that was American Graffiti at the end. That's all I'm saying. But
All right.
I think that was called Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, Gone with
I
the
don't
Wind.
know. In honor of John Milner, in 1970, the Illinois State Constitution is adopted as at a special election.
Oh, nice.
In 1997, San Francisco 49ers retired Joe
Montana's
Montana's number
16, I bet.
And guess whose birthday today is?
What do you
I
think?
know that one.
Tell me. Yeah, you, Sherbert, Mr. Sherbert, go ahead.
Tim Conway, born today?
Could have been.
No,
Yeah.
he was born today.
You looked it up.
This morning I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got that
And
long trivia.
the engineer who designed the Eiffel Tower was born today. Gate Eiffel or
Mr. Eiffel.
Mr. Eiffel.
Mr. Eiffel. That was
And
for me.
J.P. Getty.
James Paul. Mr. Getty, yeah.
J.P.
Paul,
Getty, yeah.
J. Paul Getty, yeah.
In deaths, Glenn Miller,
Oh,
Walt Disney, and Oral Roberts.
1966 for Walt Disney passed away. Somewhere.
Yeah, you got that one right.
Yeah.
Do you know what the connection is between Walt Disney and Chicago?
Oh, it's a good one. This is a good trivia. You like this, Senator?
Do I know?
It's
Yes,
wonderful.
You know.
One of George's best.
No.
Well, Walt Disney grew up in Chicago, of course, but his father was a laborer on the World's Fair of the 1890s, the White City, which the Museum of Science and Industry is still there. He used to come home, his father, Walt Disney's father, and regale him with these stories of this White City. And Walt Disney said that's what was his concept when he started building Disneyland in California.
great.
It was
No
theme
kidding.
park based on the White City in Chicago's World's Fair. Do you know what the connection is between Eiffel Tower in Chicago?
Tell us.
I know.
Same thing, World's Fair. Go ahead.
Yeah, Didn't they create a
Tell us.
Well, no, you
Jeff.
tell us, yeah.
Well, the Eiffel Tower was the centerpiece of the World's Fair in Paris. When Chicago had the World's Fair in 1892,
Ferris wheel, yeah.
they wanted to build something that was more demonstrative, something that was bigger and better than the Eiffel Tower, and that's where the Ferris wheel came from.
That's right. Mr. Ferris did that.
George
We-
Ferris.
we claim that one. You know Chicago gets credit for the
Ferris,
Ferris
yeah.
wheel.
Ferris wheel, yeah.
Yeah.
How about the Ferris wheel at Navy Pier?
Well, that's a salute to the original one. And Ferris Bueller's Day Off is Chicago-based. So it all works.
That's actually nuts for me, I swear to God.
95% of all Ferris wheels are made in Jackson, Illinois. That's true.
Really?
Yeah, Jackson, Illinois has one of the only working Ferris wheel makers in the
Wow.
entire
Where
country,
is
in the
that?
entire world.
Where is that? Yeah, we should take a road trip there. And
I know
do YouTube.
Jacksonville. We were in radio down there for years. I don't know Jackson.
Jacksonville, that's what it is.
Oh, Jacksonville,
Yep,
Illinois. I
something
know
like
that one. We were on WLDS EAI for years in Jacksonville. Wonderful town. I didn't know McMurray College is down there. I had no idea about the Ferris wheel. Good folklore.
Holy
We,
Ferris
we
wheel.
don't celebrate it as much anymore as we once did.
You have a big sign, welcome to Jacksonville's big Ferris wheel on the sign.
At
Welcome.
Ken Norton's hometown.
How
That's what
far
we used to
away
claim
is
down
it?
there. Oh,
2.5
it's
hours.
200
Which
miles.
way? South?
It's downstate, yeah. It's down below Springfield, basically. So it's not that
Speaking
far.
of Springfield, maybe we should get back to
Yeah.
Senator John Milner here.
It's his show.
Okay.
We went full circle, it's okay.
Listen, Senator, I
I like this.
understand you're a certified master investigative hypnotist.
Yes.
My.
Just look in my eyes here.
George is volunteering. Yeah.
Wow.
Could you hypnotize George to stop eating carbohydrates?
This George, yeah, this is George, yeah.
Tell us about that part of your career, and can a person be hypnotized into telling the truth if they've been arrested for a crime?
Well, let
Know
me
what I
start
mean?
with the second question, and that is, can I get someone to tell me the truth if they're under hypnosis? The answer is no, because
No?
in essence, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. I just guide you through it,
Okay.
and if I get you to a very deep state, and I could, have you do, hold your arms out to your side, hang your coats on it, and everything else would be fine. Make you do stupid stuff if you want to do it, but if I say, if you were the murderer and you didn't want to tell me, and I say, did you do it? You'll say no, because remember, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, and you are in control.
But see, people don't realize
Oh, they
that
don't,
because
they
I
don't.
I'd had an opportunity to have a couple hypnotists, but with degrees or certifications or whatever, such as yourself, come to EBL to do a hypnosis session for them, and they just, some of them were afraid of it, some of them didn't want to do it, they didn't want to tamper
Yeah,
with their
they don't-
subconscious,
Yeah, they
and I
have
don't
to
think
worry
they
about-
understand
no,
it.
it's just all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, and that's basically the bottom line. And I'll focus your attention in one area. I'll get you to relax very much. I'll get you to think about things like, for example, we've solved many crimes with hypnosis where people saw the car driving by, but they're scared. They don't remember the license number. We just bring them back. You have them look at the license number. They see it, and then we check and sure enough it's the car. The damage is there. It's the same car, whatever it may be. From homicide cases to you name it, we cleared them through investigative hypnosis because people were able to slow down the situation and see the details of the crime. That's what it's for, because they want to do that. Now, if they don't want to do that, they won't do it, no matter how deep of a state of hypnosis I put them in.
No kidding.
Yeah, so that's just a misconception. Or, for example, you get the person who's hypnotizing you and you tell them, I want you to jump out the window. Well, they're not going to jump out the window. They're just not going to do it.
Cluck
and they
like
could
a
be in a
chicken.
very deep, cluck like a chicken. They will cluck like a chicken if
Oh.
they want to cluck like a chicken.
Oh.
See, so when you're a stage hypnotist, what you'll do is you'll say, is there any volunteers? You'll only take a volunteer.
Okay.
And then you'll give them a little suggestion as they come up. You'll say, for example, if there's 5 chairs up there.
You've been to Vegas before.
5 people coming up to the chairs, and you say, sir, sit in chair number 2. Well, if he doesn't go to chair number 2, we have too many people up here. You see, they have to follow your direction. They have to be volunteers.
Okay.
Then they'll cluck like a chicken.
I have a quick little story about hypnotism. A friend of mine many years ago, we went to get hypnotized to lose weight. We left the hypnotist's office. Well, first in his office he said, you want to lose weight or you want to quit smoking? I said, Doc, first I want to lose weight and then I'll tackle smoking. This was like in February of '80. I can remember back then.
Wow.
And so he hypnotized us, and we went to the gas station on the way home, and traditionally I would fill up my car with gas, buy 4 packs of cigarettes. Don't ask me, it worked. And I said to my friend Eileen, I wonder how long I could go without buying another pack of cigarettes, and I haven't smoked since.
Wow.
And then a month later, I go back to the doctor for the follow-up, and he said, you haven't lost any weight? And I said, yeah, but Doc, the strangest thing happened. I quit smoking.
That's possible.
Just Just like
That's right.
that, and it was over, and he said it's much easier to stop eating than it is to stop smoking, and he couldn't figure it out either, but I haven't smoked since.
That's great.
And never had the urge, I could be around people smoking.
I would do that for friends, people who want to quit smoking and hypnotize them so they wouldn't smoke anymore. But weight loss is a little bit more complicated. In fact, I just took a course from the motivational Hypnosis Motivational Institute on weight loss, and literally they're claiming that you need to do at least 8 sessions to get someone to start losing weight. It's very complicated because there's so many reasons why people eat. Whether it's emotional eating, I mean, there's so many different reasons. You just can't do that in one session.
There are a lot of
Smoking's
reasons,
little different.
but one of the things that I, for my own personal eating bouts, and I tell people I'm chronically obese, except I'm in remission, I'm in recovery. I'm one hot fudge sundae away from 317 pounds, trust me. And I believe that more than motivation, more than emotional eating, I believe that those of us who are obese, we eat because when all else fails, we can eat better than we can do anything else. We can't iron our husband's shirts right. We can't broil his steak right. The kids, they don't like this, that, the other thing.
Well, we can eat.
But our eating is beyond reproach. So when all else fails for that day, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to treat myself to something good because I can do it. It's complicated.
And that's why it takes time. So I think first, I frankly don't agree with what he said about making it easy to not eat.
Okay. But I still haven't smoked. Anyway, I also noticed that you've got a technical degree in detection of deception.
Yeah.
And I'd like to take that class myself. Tell us a bit about detecting deception, because I'm sure a lot of my gal pals out there would love to know this one.
Oh, there's so much to do with it. I actually still train police officers, detectives, and prosecuting attorneys from all over. Last week I was in Indianapolis doing that with about 150 people in my class, and teaching them to do just that. But it's not complicated. We all send signals to each other. We all look at each other. We send we look at each other as I'm speaking to you. You're listening to my words.
Yes.
Of course, the people out there are listening.
Behind you is like they're making faces,
right.
and Jeff's
They're
making
listening,
horns behind George's head.
They're listening to words.
I'm trying to pay attention.
And what happens is most people, that's what we do. But a guy, years ago, a guy named Marivin said, words account the total impact of communication about 7%. 38% is tone of voice, and 55% is body language. And so what we did is we look at this body language thing, and what happens is body language really says, it tells me what you're thinking. So,
What am I thinking?
Well, I can't share that on the radio.
You're a handsome man.
Oh my God.
But the point here is that, what we as human beings, and the reason I like to teach it, I like everybody to learn this because it gets rid of the hidden agendas out there. When I'm in Springfield, people will say one thing, and then their body language is telling me something completely different. Well, for me, I have the advantage. I can kind of look at that and I can decide where I want to go next with this, whatever interaction encounter may be. And I think if everybody were able to do that, it would make life a little bit easier, because then you could cut through all of this BS, and then get down to the truth. It's not hard to teach. It takes a little time because there's things we have to do. For example, I'd have to look, if I were to read you, I'd want to get a baseline for your behavior. So I would ask you a number of questions, and I would see how you respond. I'd watch from your breathing to your eye movement to your blinking of your eyes. And I would ask you from the time I ask the question up to the point where you respond is kind of the window that I want to stay in. So once I get your baseline, then what I'll do is I'll start asking other questions that require some thinking or memory. And then you can tell your story, and I can decide whether or not the story is truthful or deceptive. And then I can see the parts of the story that you're struggling with and that you're making up, and the parts of the story that you're truthful to. So it's kind of fun. It's interesting, and it works.
How long
great
does it
for
take to
policemen.
learn how to do this?
Well, my class is 2 days, but it's,
When are you teaching it again? Email me. Well, sometimes when you struggle too, it's not because you're lying or making things up. It's your mind is so full, and you go blank, you draw a blank.
No, and that's what we tell the class. I mean, this is something you don't use at home. This is not something this is when there's an important issue. You need to know whether or not the person's telling you the truth. There's white lies that we're all throwing out here all day long. People just talk to each other. Hey, how you feeling today? I'm feeling fine. Well, maybe they're not. They just say that. Hey, you look great, and maybe they don't. And who cares? But it's when you get into some of the more detailed areas and some of the depth of conversation that you really need to work toward the truth. And it just seems to work better for everybody if we can do that. And certainly for the law enforcement community, it's critically important, because when we investigate cases and we're going to talk to, let's say, 10 suspects in a case, I want to make sure we're eliminating those innocent people, getting them out of there,
Mhm.
where you can focus on the guilty person. And typically law enforcement doesn't teach this, and they just go by the questions: who, what, when, where, how, and why.
Yes.